Hey Josh, how's it going?
Good, Phil. How you doing?
I'm doing well, thanks. I want to ask you first, what are some of the qualities you've seen from Mac, maybe especially over the last couple of weeks of camp, that make you feel comfortable with him as your top quarterback?
Well, I think it's an evaluation when you look at the whole body of work since he got here. He really works hard. He puts a lot of time into it. He's been well prepared each day to come in and do the things that we ask our guys to do. Um, he's learned how to operate what we've asked him to operate so far. Fairly well. And he's improved and he continues to make progress. And, he's generally taking care of the football. And he's, given us an opportunity to, giving the other 10 guys on the field an opportunity to do their job effectively and produce positive plays. And he still has a lot to learn and a long way to go in terms of where hopefully we end up going. But I really feel confident about his approach, his ability to learn, his ability to process information, and really his ability to make a mistake and learn from those too, because that's a never-ending process for any player. And he generally he's a great listener, and he tries not to make the same mistake twice. Not saying that he never does. Not saying that he doesn't do that at times, but I think he's really shown a strong aptitude at a young age to try to put those mistakes behind him and then move on and try to continue to improve as a quarterback.
Josh, you obviously got a chance to get in so much work last week. How important were those reps and the number of reps that he got there in terms of just confirming some of the things that you'd known about him maybe, for weeks and months leading up to that point? But how important was that week of practice for Mac in terms of your evaluation as a coaching staff?
Well, I think every rep is important. I know he got a few more last week than maybe what he had received prior to that, but he was getting, like I said, he was getting a big chunk. We were, pretty much splitting it between him and Cam for most of the camp, and that was kind of how we had decided to go into the camp and allow it to play out. So he had already demonstrated, quite a few of those traits and the level of improvement prior to that, and then that week that he got, the lion's share of it. I think he just continued to grow. Not that he made mistakes in those practices also, but that's to be expected of any young player, really any player, but specifically any young player. And, thought we had a chance to make some progress off of those mistakes as well. So every rep he takes is, valuable. Every young player is in the same boat. They don't have, a ton of experience in every situation. And so the more you can put them in those positions and let them experience those things, the better off they're going to be.
Thanks, Josh.
Mm-hmm.
Next question, Mark Daniels, followed by Bob Seuss.
Hey Josh, good morning.
Good morning.
This summer, I feel like a lot of veteran teammates have talked about how Mac has earned their respect with his work ethic and the ways he essentially goes about his business. I'm just wondering, how has Mac been able to earn your respect this off season?
He's just come in and he works hard at his craft, and we have a lot of guys that do that, and he's had a lot of great examples in front of him, both in the quarterback room, in our offensive room, and in our squad room. He's got a lot of veteran players that he can look to as great examples for how to approach being an NFL football player. I think he's been very perceptive of some of those things. and he's come in and he's worked extremely hard. Like I said, he's very well prepared each day. He deserves the credit for that. And he just continues to put the game and the team first. He studies hard at the game. He tries to make the corrections that we coach him on. And he goes out there and tries to do it the right way and never makes excuses, and just continues to try to improve and make progress. So that's the best way for any of us to approach our jobs, and he's done that so far.
Thank you.
Yep.
Next question, Bob Socci, followed by Henry McKenna.
Thanks, Stace. Good morning, Josh.
Good morning, Bob.
Hey, related to Mark's question, hearing so many veterans and young players alike over the course of the last few weeks and even going back to the spring talk about Mac's leadership and the confidence they have in him. In addition to all the physical tools that you look at in a quarterback, how important in his case and this decision are the intangibles, and also the fact that a rookie quarterback has been able to come in and exert that kind of leadership and earn his teammates' trust and confidence?
I think that's important at every position. We talk about trust a lot, and it's offensively, it's impossible to go out there and play well, if 8 or 9 guys know what their job is and do it dependably well on a consistent basis. You need 11 guys, and so in order for us to play well, it starts with trusting the other 10 guys that are around you, regardless of the position that you play, and going out there and showing your teammates on a daily basis that you can count on me. And I think he's tried to do that each day that he's been here. Some days have been better than others, but that's to be expected. And I think a key component of the trust is, when you do make a mistake, will you show your teammates that you'll try your absolute best to learn from it and then not make it again if you're put in that same situation the next time. So, trust is a process, and there's no easy way to earn trust or respect in this league. I think it comes from preparation and performance, and I think he's really done a good job of trying to just take each day one step at a time and try to do his job the best of his ability and help the other 10 guys that are out there in the huddle do theirs the best that they can too.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Next question, Henry McKenna, followed by Mike Giardi.
Good morning, Josh.
Good morning.
I'm curious what your feelings are on the departure of Cam this morning. I imagine it's tough for you, and I know you guys really loved working with him last year.
Yeah, those days are never easy. I understand there's certainly a business side of our game, and tough decisions are always part of this time of the year. Again, our job is really to focus on the things that we can control and do moving forward with the players that are here. But there's no question that there's a relationship that you develop with the players that you work with. And, I've been around a while, and, I've seen some really good people, good players released or traded or what have you. It happens every year. And, in this particular case, I have a tremendous amount of respect for him as a player, a tremendous amount of respect for him as a human being, as a person. And he knows how I feel about him. And, the time that we were able to spend together, I think he did everything he could that we asked him to do to try to help us win and help us prepare this year to improve. And for that, I'm very grateful and appreciative of all the things he did, all the work he put in. And hopefully you build a relationship that will last well beyond football. And I believe that's the case here.
Next question, Mike Giardi, followed by Ben Volen.
Good morning, Josh.
Good morning.
how difficult did Cam make the decision? You know, obviously you and Bill had talked about he's the starter, and there was some caveats. He's the starter now, but he clearly looked more comfortable in the system this year than he did last year, probably at any point. How difficult did he make that decision for you guys to move on to Mac?
I think it was very competitive. I mean, you just alluded to it. You know, he last year he really had no experience in this system and experience doing some of the things that we ask our quarterbacks to do, and tried every day to make progress on that, and he did. And he was improved and made progress and was very competitive all the way through. So these decisions are not easy. There's a lot of time and effort, certainly, that are put in by the players and the coaches, to just focus on making each player better and allowing them the opportunity to go out there and improve themselves. And the competition at many spots on our team was very similar. These are, again, that's a good thing if you're having to really go back and analyze things like that to figure out exactly how to put together the best team that you can, and ultimately that's what we hope all our players do, and he certainly did this year.
I'm just curious, are you expecting some more help in your quarterback room? It seemed a little light yesterday.
Yeah, I don't have much left in my right shoulder, so there's a lot of roster movement that takes place, obviously, at this time of the year, as we all know, and I would expect that be the case here the next few days.
Thanks, Josh.
So that we can keep on schedule, I'm going to have Ben Volen be the last question. Go ahead, Ben.
Lucky you, Josh.
Benjamin.
Look, obviously, Mac Jones is not anywhere close to his experience as Tom Brady, but him winning the job, do you feel like you have everything at your disposal, or do you anticipate having to use training wheels and kind of ease Mac Jones into this?
I think the best thing that we can do as an offensive staff and as a coaching staff is to try to put every player that's out there on the field in the position to impact our team in a positive way that they're ready to do. And so I would expect that we feel like there's a certain amount of things that he's comfortable with, and then we continue to try to build and grow as we go. Generally speaking, when you start the season, nobody's starting with a full bucket. I'd never have thought that we needed to do that, regardless of what the team was or who we had playing or how experienced they were. You want to start at the things that fundamentally you do well, to give your players an opportunity to go out there and play fast and be aggressive. And that would apply to the quarterback position, left guard, tight end, whatever the position is. You just want to give them an opportunity to go out there and do things that they know well and feel comfortable doing. But you ultimately know that over the course of a long season, going up against really good players and good coaches, as the year progresses, you're going to have to build, you're going to have to change, you're going to have to grow, you're going to have to do different things and add things to your bucket that maybe you aren't doing at the beginning of the season in September. So our focus will be just trying to make sure that our group as a whole is comfortable doing the things that we're asking them to do. If that and that's some of that is a little bit of trial and error. You have an idea coming out of camp where you feel like you're at right now and where you feel like you're comfortable and what you think you can do well. But there's always an element of attempting some things week to week, seeing if we can get comfortable with them quickly enough to use them on Sunday or Monday, and then ultimately making decisions at the end of the week saying, these 10 or 12 things I don't feel great about, let's hold them and we'll try them again next week. So, like I said, the goal is to allow the 11 guys that are out there to feel confident, trust each other, and know what to do, and go out there and be aggressive and play fast. And that's what the goal will be for our group as we start against Miami.
Thanks, Josh.
Yep.
Thank you, Josh.
Yep. Thanks, guys.
Cam Acord will be next.